Hi friends, welcome to the video. Today we are going to discuss the 29th sonnet of William Shakespeare. Well, the details of the author won't be discussed here because we have already discussed the details of the author on the class on Sonnet 18. Okay, so if you haven't watched that video, just go quickly, go to the video and watch it and come back. Okay, yes. So let's see what is in the 29th sonnet. And this is the sonnet. We have 14 lines and you have to go through each of the line because we may get a question like, some line may be quoted and we will be asked like from which poem this particular line has taken. So you have to go through the lines. Lines particularly like from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate, for their sweet love remembered such wealth brings. So all these lines are very, very important. So you have to go through the poem, okay, at least for once. Let's see the summary of the poem. And that is what is very important because we need to know what is the theme of the poem. The poem begins with the description of the speaker's discontent and his lamentation over the miserable plight of life. So he's actually, the speaker is kind of, he's frustrated with his life and he's very angry. He's, he feels hopeless because there are lots of issues in his life and he's feeling so much hopeless. Okay. He's lamenting over his damn life. So that is what is the beginning. That is the beginning part of the poem. He's so much discontent with his life. He's not at all satisfied with his life. He's very, very much, sad, and he's very much frustrated with his life. He curses his poor fate for his catastrophic condition. Here he's a very much, he's a destroy. His life is in a perished state. Okay, so he's feeling so much pessimistic. He's feeling so much negative. He feels abandoned and useless. He was sometimes people used to say like, oh, you are good for nothing. Okay, so similarly he's feeling about himself like, oh, I am not good for anything. Okay, it's like, I am a kind of a burden in the society. I'm too much for the earth, like that. He's feeling so little about himself. Okay, he's so much frustrated, he's sad, he's angry. Okay, he feels that even God is not answering his calls. So it means he is praying every day, but he feels that his prayers are not reaching the God. He is not answered by the God. Sometimes in our own life, okay, think our own life, we feel such kind of feelings in our life. Sometimes we feel like, okay, what kind of life is this? There is no joy, there is no merry, always tension, and all these kind of things happen to me, and all such pessimistic thoughts sometimes roll up to our sleeps. Okay, so this is a general condition of a common person. So that is what he is also thinking. He is feeling that even the God has abandoned him. Let's see the other part of the poem. He is envious from the successful and talented people around him. So he is feeling jealousy to the ones who are successful. We may also think like that, like when we are in a sad state, we feel like, why God is always giving this sadness to me? See, think about our neighbors. All these people are becoming wealthier. Okay, every day they are becoming rich and rich, and why I am only in this pathetic state? So we also think like that, right? Yeah, here the speaker or the poet is also jealousy of other people, other wealthy people. He wishes to be rich, satisfied, and fortunate like them, but meets only failures and disappointments. That's the problem, because we all wish to become rich and wealthy. But what happens is, though we wish or pray for becoming such a person, we tend to be in a poor state. Okay, we don't become rich and we remain to be in a very desperate situation. So we curses everything around us and we say that God is not answering my prayers and God has abandoned me. Such kind of cursing we will make because we are in a very poor state. After cursing his present sad state, he suddenly talks about his beloved and his mood changes in a dramatic way. Sometimes we also in our life also we sometimes being in a sad state, we may think about some happy moments in our life. Oh wow, that was a very proud moment. Then why I should be sad? Let's be joyful in our life. So similarly, here the speaker is also thinking about the beloved. Okay, he has a love interest in his life, and he's immediately thinking of his beloved. Okay, and that time suddenly what happens, all his sad mood and all his sad thoughts gets vanished. Okay, let's see this thought of love provides him immense pleasure and removes his negative feelings. Okay, so just like we do, his joyful moments, okay, his joyful moments with his beloved makes him so much happy. Okay, he actually all those thoughts about his beloved removes or erases all his sad thoughts. Okay, all his sad thoughts or the pessimistic thoughts of the speaker. So what does all this mean? It means that love is so much powerful that it can even erases the sadness of one's life. See the last line, the magical effect of love eradicates his sorrow and makes him happy. That means it erases every sad thought of the author or the poet and fills him with the joy or joyful moments, okay, or joyful thoughts. So this is the power of what? This is the power of love. Love is that powerful thing. Okay, yes. Let's see the themes of this poem. Hopelessness. Yes, at the very beginning of the novel, at the very beginning of the poem, we saw that the poet or the speaker was feeling frustrated. He was feeling hopeless. Okay, hopeless about his life. He's feeling sad. So hopelessness is one of the greatest theme of this particular sonnet. Then anxiety. Yes, of course, we know that the poet is having so much anxiety. He's anxious about his life. He's anxious about his future. Okay, he's dooming his life, and he's feeling so outraged. He's feeling angry. Okay, so he's anxious about his life. Anxiety is also a great theme other than the hopelessness within the sonnet. Then moving on, we have this third theme, which is the jealousy. Yes, there is one moment when the poet or the speaker feels jealousy about his neighbors or the people who are wealthy around him. Okay, yes, we also feel some kind of envy or kind of jealousy to people who are successful. Okay, yes, especially when we are in a very pathetic or desperate situation. Yes, that is what the speaker is also doing. So jealousy is also a theme. And finally, we have the love. About love we have already discussed, because the power of love and the the strength of love we already discussed. So love is also a main theme of this particular sonnet. Let's discuss the poetic devices in the sonnet. At first, assonance. It is the repetition of same vowel sound in nearby words. See, here is the example taken from the sonnet. Wishing me like to one more rich in hope. Here we have, we can understand that it is wish and rich is an examples for assonance. See, wish, rich, E sound. The vowel sound E is repeated in these two words. Wish, rich, E sound. Okay, so it's a clear example for assonance. And this line is taken from the sonnet 2029. Okay, yes, moving on. Then we have alliteration. It is a repetition of same consonant sound at the beginning of a sequence of words. Here we have the and then. Okay, it's the sound. Okay, the sound is repeated. Think. Okay, here we have think, but it is the sound. The and then is the sound. Okay, the and the. Okay, it is different. So it is not think, it is the and then. Both these words are example for alliteration. The, then. Okay, the sound, the. Yes, the sound is repeated in this line, and this line is taken from the sonnet. Okay, yes, moving on, we have consonants. It is a repetition of same consonant sounds in a line. Unlike the alliteration, here the consonant sound can appear at the beginning, middle, and end of the word. Okay, so here is an example. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising. Here the sound s is repeated. See, these thoughts, myself, almost despising. Okay, in all these words we have this sound is repeated either at the middle or at the beginning or at the or towards the end of the word. So the sound is repeated. So it's an example for consonants. Then we have this enjambment. Okay, it is the continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond the end of a line, couplet, or stanza. So we have run-on lines. Okay, and this here is an example taken from the sonnet. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings. Okay, so here we have after the word brings, there is no period or comma or colon or semicolon, anything. Okay, so it's just a run-on line. The meaning of that line, the idea of that line is passing to the next one. Okay, so it's an example for enjambment. Then we have this personification. It is the process of giving human qualities to animals or objects or non-living things. Okay, yes. Here's an example taken from the sonnet. From sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. So, can we imagine that earth is singing? No, right? Yeah, earth is not a living thing. Earth is not a human being to sing a song or something like that. Yeah. So here it is said that the earth is singing hymns. Okay, hymn. What is the meaning of the word hymn? Hymn means prayer song. Yes. So here it is said that earth is singing. That means the human quality called singing is attributed to the object earth. Okay, fine. So it's an example for personification. Then we have the symbolism. It is the process of using symbols to signify ideas and qualities by giving them symbolic meanings different from literal meanings. Here is an example. In the poem, the word lark stands for hope and good fortune. There is a word lark in the poem, and around the middle of the poem we can see the word lark, and that particular word stands for hope or good fortune. Okay, yes. So it's an example for symbolism. The word lark is actually a symbol used there. Okay, yes. Now let's see the questions. Actually, I have only added one question. Okay, yes. The line, I all alone beweep my outcast state, is taken from which poem? Think. Yes, time's up. Sonnet 29 or 29th sonnet of William Shakespeare. That means this sonnet is the sonnet which we discussed today. Okay, and this is the second line in the sonnet 29. Fine. Yes. I all alone beweep my outcast state. Okay, which shows the desperate situation of our speaker or the poet. Yes. Fine. So that's all about the questions.